If you haven't played Halo Infinite since Season 1 or 2, I don't blame you. The game started off strong, but almost immediately shot itself in the foot, and has been trying to put a band-aid over a gunshot wound ever since. That being said, however, starting with the winter update back in November of 2022, 343 has actually done a pretty admirable job of trying to carry this game to where it should have been at launch. Season 3 was exceptionally done, and now Season 4 is shaping up to be the best season this game has had since Season 1. There have been a lot of solid and much needed changes brought to this game since I last made a video about it, and I want to go over all of those changes in this video. Of course, Infinite is far from perfect, and there are still some major gripes that I have with it, but I have to give praise where praise is due. Sure, we shouldn't praise 343 for the bare minimum, but considering how horrible of a job they were doing at the start of the game's life cycle, I think we should at least let them know that they're on the right track. I truly think the future of Halo is a little bit brighter, even if it's hard to see that right now. I don't think that Halo will ever return to those 2004 to 2010 days, but I do believe that Infinite will and is already shaping up to be a great successor to the previous Halo games. Our journey begins back in November of 2022 with the winter update. Before the end of 2022, we had the first 2 seasons of the game, which were rocky at best. Season 2 provided very little content for an astounding 6 months. Following that disaster of an update though, we got a breath of fresh air with the winter update that gave us some of the remaining Reach armor for free, 3 new maps, Forge, the custom game browser, Match XP, and Campaign Network Co-op. On paper, these updates seem great, but these updates arrived 1 entire year after Infinite's launch, and frankly, it just wasn't enough to bring players back. Lots of YouTubers believed that the custom games browser and Forge would bring back a ton of players, which unsurprisingly wasn't the case. Which is actually a huge shame because Infinite's Forge is easily the best in the series, and I had lots of fun playing on custom Forge maps and custom Forge game modes. However, it wasn't all doom and gloom. Although this update didn't bring back a huge amount of players, it did bring back some players, and more importantly, it was a huge improvement for the players like myself who had played the game since day 1. There was no paid battle pass and 3 free events with even more armor, which was a great gesture by 343. Lots of people give 343 shit for putting armor behind paywalls, but you have to remember that the game was free. Sure, I'd rather have paid $60 for a game that would give me complete access to every piece of content for free, but the latest trend in gaming is to make your game free and earn the money back through battle passes and item shops. I don't exactly blame 343 for chasing this trend. Nearly every single new FPS follows this method and it clearly works. For example, if you've played Fortnite since its inception, you've probably spent well over $60 in battle passes alone, and that's not counting any item shop purchases you may have made. Knowing this, I think 343 absolutely deserves praise for not locking every single piece of armor behind a paid battle pass or throwing it in the item shop. 343 also frequently puts out free events with even more armor, coatings, emblems, and weapon models, which is also not super common in other games. In this update, they also added more cadet coatings for all the armor cores, meaning players who were unwilling to spend money had more options in their Spartan's customization. In the end, the winter update was an absolute W for 343 and the Halo community, no matter if you liked Infinite or not. Following the winter update, we had Season 3, Echoes Within. This update was also solid, bringing a new paid battle pass with new Mirage and Chimera cores, 3 new maps, the Bandit Rifle, the Shroud Screen, and the game modes Escalation and Super Fiesta. Now, a lot of us expected Infection to be launched during Season 3, but that wasn't the case, which disappointed the community greatly. Regardless though, this season was also a much needed update to Infinite, and brought tons of new and exciting content. Cliffhanger is one of my favorite 343 era maps, the Bandit Rifle is so satisfying to use and it sounds orgasmic, and Super Fiesta is quite literally my favorite game mode in Halo. I think everyone enjoyed the maps of this season, but the armor cores on the other hand were quite divisive, with some people loving the futuristic Crisis-esque Chimera core, and others throwing up at the sight of it. Regardless of how you felt about the armor cores though, I think we can all agree that this season was a proper improvement to the game, and 343 should definitely be praised for it. The maps were gorgeous to play on, the game modes were solid, and the quality of life changes were much needed. Furthermore, the narrative cutscene at the start of the season, the free coding for all armor cores that came with the battle pass, and the 3 free events were all awesome additions and really helped the game feel new and improved. Also, I just want to add that 343's art design and music team always knocks it out of the park. Even the objectively worst season in the game, Season 2, had some killer music and armor sets. And of course, Season 3 lived up to the previous seasons with awesome soundtracks and armor designs. I want to give 343 a ton of praise for this because Infinite's multiplayer soundtracks aren't talked about enough. And now we're on the 4th season, Infection. Season 4 has been a solid season overall, but to be honest, there's a few things that I'm not super fond of. First off, the Battle Pass. There's very little in it that I genuinely want to grind towards. Even the tier 100 reward doesn't interest me. The fact that the same coding is repeated multiple times in the past to fluff it out just bores me. I don't want to unlock the midnight coding for my Spartan's Autojacker 9000. Just give it to me once and make some half decent rewards. No, I won't bitch too much about it because 343 have already confirmed that starting in Season 5 the codings will only take up one slot of an event pass or battle pass, which I mean thank god is coming out, but lord what took so long? Other than that, we got the weird hazmat core that I like and dislike at the same time. Some of the armor, like the Mark 6 hazmat variant, is so fucking cool, but at the same time we have horrible abominations like this, which just feels like 343 is scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of armor designs. Overall though, the core is cool and I don't hate it. We also got new stuff for the Yoroi armor core, which is a godsend because the last thing Infinite needs is more armor cores. What we need right now is more armor to fill out the cores we already have, so this is definitely a step in the right direction. We also got 4 new maps in this update, with Dredge and Forest being my favorite maps in the entire game. The maps in this update are so fucking good, and I hope that 343 keeps this momentum moving forward. We then got 2 new pieces of equipment, one of which being fucking useless and the other being super gimmicky, but really fun and satisfying to use. It's always cool to expand the sandbox, but I won't ever be using either of these pieces of equipment unless it's all I've got. Now the heavy hitters of this update are well Infection, obviously, as well as the career rank progression system. First things first, Infection is actually pretty damn fun. I like the whole AI design and how it ties into the now non-existent multiplayer narrative. Anyways, the mode feels fast and fun, and I love the interactive maps with boards to cut down and new areas that we weren't able to access before. Finally, we have Infection, almost 2 years after the game came out, but it's here. Now onto career rank. I fucking hate career rank in this game. There's no meaningful rewards at all, not even if you hit the max rank. No special armor set, no special armor coding, just emblems and nameplates. Those aren't rewards 343, no one wants those. We better get more rewards next season because at this point there are 0 reasons to go out of your way to progress the career rank. Now, I do like how the icons look, but I don't like how they are the exact same, just reskinned. I mean, take a look at how unique Halo Reach's rank icons were. 343, you could have literally copy and pasted Reach's rank system with its icons, and people would sell their newborns to buy something in the shop just to support you for doing such a beautiful thing. Regardless, in the end this update was actually pretty great, despite my personal issues with it and the shitty career rank system. I guess any ranking system is better than none. So, just to tie it all together, in the last 8 months we have gotten the following changes. 13 brand new maps: Detachment, Argyle, Empyrean, Chasm, Cliffhanger, Oasis, Forest, Scar, Solitude, and Dredge. 5 new game modes: Covert 1 Flag, Escalation, Super Fiesta, Infection, and Squad Battle. A free 30 tier pass with some of the remaining Reach content, Where the Hell is EOD and Pilot, 2 paid/free premium battle passes with some decent rewards, Campaign Network Co-op, Campaign Mission Replay, Forge, Match XP, also how was this not included at launch, 24 new campaign achievements along with new unlockables for 100% completion of the campaign, Custom Games Browser, Yoroi, Eagle Strike, and Rakshasha cores, available to everyone for free, 3 brand new armor cores with more armor for the Yoroi core, Bandit Rifle, Shroud Screen, Threat Seeker, Quantum Translocator equipment, in-game reporting, 8 free narrative and fracture events with 3 more on the way for the rest of Season 4. The shop FOMO is essentially gone as you can now go back and purchase whatever armor you'd like by just finding it in the customization menu. There are some Season 3 and Season 4 armors that aren't available to purchase just yet, but I assume that's just because they're new and in the future season we'll be able to purchase them whenever. All new codings in the shop and in the premium battle pass from Season 4 onwards will be available for all cores, more frequent sales in the shop and bundles, death cam improvements, career rank, and improved Pelican vehicle drops in BTB. Now I'm sure I missed some stuff, but I think I covered all of the big changes that really matter. Not bad for Infinite, considering we got so little for the first few months after the game launched. It's crazy what new management can do for a game, and I really hope that this positive trend of updates continues forwards. But not everything is perfect. Evidently so, because if it was, then Infinite would be a lot more popular. Desync and network issues during gameplay are still rampant. The core system is super limiting for customization. The coding system is awful. Of course, we all know this. Talking about these issues has been rinsed and repeated a million different times by a million different YouTubers. But it's been rinsed and repeated for good reason. Infinite's core gameplay is the best in the series, but that doesn't mean much if half of your shots don't even register. Infinite's art design is also one of my favorite art styles in all of Halo, but that doesn't mean much if you have to pay a shit ton of money to get your Spartan to look the way you want. However, 343 do release a lot of customizable content for free, so I will give them that. It just seems that for every good thing about Infinite, there are 5 bad things, and it's hard to keep playing a game with so many core and fundamental issues. We get small networking fixes here and there, but what's 343's long-term plan for the decent issues that plague so many players? Do they have a plan? Or are they hoping that their current and future players just ignore the fact that no matter how good they are at the game, their shots have the chance of just not going where they're supposed to go? And is crosscore ever going to come out? We don't even have crosscore helmets or shoulder pieces yet. Where's the word on that? This game is going to need a lot of work, and most importantly, transparent communication from 343 to get anywhere near those initial player counts. Although there is still a severe lack of communication from 343 regarding the future of Infinite, the recent changes being made to the game have truly helped the game a ton. Gone are the days where we would get news that the next season would be released 3 months late, the same day we got a brand new bundle in the shop. See, you might think I'm stupid for having some faith in Infinite, but I do. It's clear that whatever they've been doing at 343 recently is good for this game. Fun game modes, new maps, shop changes, and all of these at a fairly consistent rate. I don't think Halo will ever return to its glory days, but I think Infinite will make a comeback, even if it doesn't scrape the surface of the initial player counts. As for the future of Halo as a whole, I think Halo 7 is a given, and I really hope that development is handed over to an improved and better 343 that learns what we want from Infinite. Of course, this is a naive belief, and it's one that every Halo fan has secretly had since Halo 4 and 5 and now Infinite. I guess time will tell. If 343 can give Infinite a proper send-off, then I'll hold some faith for the future. But if Infinite's still a shit show a year or two from now, I think Halo's fate is sealed.